Welcome to BossUp Babes, helping babes show up, boss up, and thrive. With #1 best-selling author, global influencer, and ultimate boss babe, Karissa Adkins. Karissa is a health and wellness expert and CEO of the 365 Daily Hustle, here to help mompreneurs and career-focused women boss up and reclaim their healthiest life. She is a pro at cutting through the BS and inspiring massive breakthroughs that help women create healthy routines and habits that facilitate personal and professional growth. Are you ready to reclaim your best life, take action, and be a badass boss babe? Let's get to it.
What up, ladies? Hello, queens. How are you doing today? Welcome to another badass episode of BossUp Babes. I am your host and the #1 mindset and women's health expert, Karissa Adkins. And you're going to want to grab your pen and paper because today I'm talking all about 3 powerful mindset shifts to help you transform your health and your body in the new year. But first, a little mini life update. So I'm really excited. I get to hop on a plane tomorrow and fly to Nebraska, which is my hometown, my stomping grounds. I'm mainly going for 2 reasons. #1 is because I was asked to come and be the keynote speaker for an amazing friend of mine. She's hosting an event called Live Your Why. And I'm not going to spend tons of time on that because it is an in-person event and it's obviously way too late for you to hop on a plane and want to fly to Nebraska. But I want to just talk about the whole purpose of this event, right? It's to educate, inspire, empower women to boss up and find their why so that they can ultimately live in their most passionate state ever, right? Because when we have our why figured out, when we know what really drives us, we're allowed to stay motivated forever. So last week I was putting together my new keynote talk. Normally I just kind of run with, I have 4 major keynote speaking talks that I do all over the world, but I wanted to put a little something extra together for her. She's my friend. I've had her on my TV show, Living Real. And we've worked together in the past. And so I was like, you know what? I want to give her a very unique, personal experience when it comes to my keynote. And what that keynote is going to look like is I normally just focus in on one story, right? Normally that's my health story or my business journey of how I went from 10K in my first year to $100,000 months. But this story, this keynote is going to I'm going to talk about all kinds of stories. So I am going to talk about my health journey because that's where my why all started, right? That rock bottom moment allowed me to figure out what was so incredibly important to me. That why has allowed me to feel motivated, inspired, and take action every single day. That why then turned into my passion, right? That why kind of sparked me. It gave me the confidence to want to become a coach and a speaker. And then 3 years later, that why, it was important to me when growing my business and investing in myself. So I'm going to tell lots of stories in that 1 30-minute time segment. And not just tell the story, but actually leave women with a piece of advice after every single story. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. As you can tell, it's just so cool to see how my why has turned into my passion, which turned into my purpose, which then turned into my life's mission. You guys all know I'm on the mission to help 1 million women boss up their bodies, their mindsets, their lifestyles, their businesses in 2023, and it's going to be one hell of an epic year. So the second thing that I'm really excited about to go to my home state is I get to see family. Yes, I get to spend some quality time with my son who lives there. Jaden, he's not always in my Facebook posts, social media posts, because he's hundreds of miles away from me. So I am excited that I get to reconnect, and I can't wait to cook them all those delicious meals. But another thing that my daughter, my husband, we're all really excited about is we get to, of course, go to so many yummy restaurants that we just miss, right? I feel like we've got the world's best burger in Bellevue, Nebraska. I feel like I've got the world's best steak in Omaha, Nebraska. And so I'm a big foodie. You guys know that I love food, and I can't wait to, just to be able to go around to those spots that I love to eat and just get some good food. I miss that being here in New Mexico. I'm not in a community or, like a big city. And so I cook a lot of homemade meals, which is fine. It's the healthier way to go. But you know what I mean? Like after 15 days of cooking every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, food prepping, everything, you do get tired of eating those things and you just want to go out. You don't want to have to do the dishes or anything like that. So I am excited. Yay for me. Yay for my family. Yay for all the women that I'm about to, boss up and help them boss up and figure out their why and how their why can turn into their passion and their mission in life. So that's just a little something that I'm excited about when it comes to my life right now. So let's switch gears, grab your pen and paper, because we're going to switch and start talking about how your mindset could be the very missing piece to your transformation, health, and wellness journey. Okay. Your health of your body, the health of your body is only ever going to be as good as the health of your mindset. Your health mindset is the missing piece for transforming your health, your weight loss, your business, everything, right? If you're wanting to change your relationships, if you're wanting to grow your business, if you're wanting to maybe learn how to be like, love yourself and stop talking so much shit to yourself inside your head, your mindset is going to be your biggest tool to help you get there. To be perfectly honest, most of us know what we need to eat in order to be healthy. Most of us know that we need to move our bodies every day to be healthy. But something is missing, which stops us from achieving our goals. The health of the body, again, is only as good as the health of your mind. That's because your mind is your most powerful tool, right? There's powerful connections with your mind and body. And when you can connect your mind to your body and control your body, control your environment, now you can become unstoppable. So here are 3 mindset shifts to help you transform your health and learn to love your body, learn to love your journey on your health and wellness journey. Okay. Number 1 mindset shift. Okay. Is that I want you to start shifting the idea and going from I need a diet to I just need to listen to my body. How many diets have you been on in your lifetime? That's like a real question, right? So many women jump from diet to diet and 95% of diets fail. So I want you to stop thinking that you need a freaking diet in order to lose weight and get healthy, get into the best shape of your life, because you don't. You've been conditioned through marketing, through advertising agencies, through your friends, through major media companies, right? They've all been telling you since you were pretty much born that in order to be healthy, to live healthy, to lose weight, that you need some kind of diet. So you've been conditioned mentally to think that that's what you need, but that is bullshit. Okay. It's bullshit. I'm calling it. So yes, diets work. I'm not going to lie to you. There's so many diets out there that get women really quick results, right? But diets are temporary. And that's because they often remove the one, like a specific food group or a specific item, maybe like no sugar, no carbs. Some of them have you on such restrictive calorie intake that I'm like, how are you even freaking functioning? Okay. And you're probably not. You're probably honestly like hustling and grinding through the day only to find out that you're like dead tired at the end of the day because you have zero energy. You've all your energy bars during work. And then unfortunately, the people who actually what we care most about, like our kids, our husbands, our partners, they don't get really the best version of you. Research shows, right, that 90 to 95% of people who go on a diet will also gain their weight back. And in most cases, they're actually going to put on more weight. I know I said it, but damn, it's true. And that's really saddening, right? Like so many women seek body confidence. They seek inner confidence for themselves, and they turn to diets to change their body instead of the other way around, right? Change your mindset first, and then that will change your body. The diet concept is flawed because we set ourselves up for failure. As soon as you go on a diet, The mindset is all about deprivation. I can't eat this. I can't have that. The mindset is about shame, deprivation, and guilt. I mean, have you ever caught yourself saying, gosh, I just ate that food and now I'm going to have to like go do 100 burpees and I'm going to have to work it off and sweat it off and all that stuff. That is your mindset. That is you thinking that, oh, you did something bad. That's why I cannot stand diets. How different would it feel if you changed your mindset instead of thinking things you can't have? What if you started saying things like, I can have that, but I don't want it. Or I can have that, but I choose to eat something healthier, right? So just starting to shift the way you talk can help your mindset around the whole diet industry. To transform your health and love your body, you want to build a better habits and like slow and steady, right? So you think you need the diet. I want you to start now telling yourself that you don't need a damn diet in order to lose the weight or get healthy or have more energy or gain more muscle, like whatever that is for you, whatever your goal is for why you hopped on a diet, okay? But in order, and I want you to give you a reframe of what you actually need. So most women think they need all that stuff, the diets, the pills, the shakes, the detoxes, all the different stuff, right? The ab roller, the what do you call those? Like, where it's like a Velcro thing, like a waist trimmer, like all these things that we're taught to think that we need. But instead, what you actually need, and I have proven this by not just doing it myself and losing the weight and keeping it off, but I have helped hundreds of women lose the weight and keep it off by helping them build habits, okay? It's the consistency that's going to be key if you're trying to get into the best shape of your life, okay? Consistent, like making consistent choices to eat healthier foods, and you're going to feel better, right? And so when we think consistency, because that's women's real biggest problems, it's not the food, it's the discipline, it's the consistency. They start something and then 3 weeks later, they fall off the damn wagon because it's too hard, it's too restrictive. That's again why diets don't work. So instead, I want you to aim on consistency. Like, what can I commit to each and every day when it comes to my nutrition that's going to equal big results? It's your habits, okay? It's your eating behaviors. It's your eating habits. Like maybe you want to slow down on your eating. Maybe you want to focus on the habit of portion control. Maybe you want to become an intuitive eater. Maybe you want to not skip a meal, right? Those are habits that you've built. You will feel healthier mentally and physically when you're not tied to a diet, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So instead, I want you to replace restriction with eating for fuel, right? Most of us have been programmed and trained from that young age to choose certain foods because we like them rather than for the nutrients or energy that they give us. So think back when you were a kid, right? You chose chicken nuggets and French fries because they were fun foods, they were easy, but they also lacked nutrients, which then we didn't have a lot of energy, right? So think I ate a Happy Meal and then an hour later I would want like a yogurt, and an hour later I'd want a fruit roll up. And like, because it wasn't a good balanced meal, right? It was not a meal full of nutrients. Okay, proteins, carbs, and fats. And so, yes, I want you to kind of replace the thought of I need to restrict. And instead, I want you to aim for fuel. Food should give you energy. Food should give you like feelings of productivity. And yes, food is tied to all of that. Okay, focus on just one meal at a time. Okay, if you're an overindulger, so say you're a binge eater or someone who like eats to the max, right? You're always unbuttoning your pants or feeling stuffed at the end of each meal, or maybe let's just move to exercise. Like maybe you went a couple of days and then you skipped a couple of days, right? Focus on the one exercise at a time. Focus on the one workout at a time. Don't get caught up in all the stuff that you haven't done or the stuff that you need to do, right? Because it makes you feel very discouraged. All right. Okay, let's switch gears. Number 2 is all about the self-talk. And this is a mindset shift. Again, this is shift number 2 to help you shift your mindset. So number 2 is beware of your self-talk. How do you talk and think about yourself matters. Do you catch yourself saying things like, I'll never be healthy. I can't exercise. I'm too lazy. I'm just destined to be fat forever. No one will love me. You hear what I'm saying? Like, these are all self-fulfilled prophecies. God, I'm having a hard time speaking today, right? So you're never going to be healthy if you always tell yourself inside, your internal dialogue is always saying, like, I'm never going to be healthy. Eating healthy is expensive. I'm never going to get this whole thing called food prep. Exercise is hard. I don't have no money to hire a trainer. Like, all of these things are going to become a reality if you keep saying it to yourself. So if you keep up with that, you will eventually believe these words on a subconscious level, and eventually your inner stories become your reality. In fact, researchers have shown how what we think can actually influence our health. I'm going to say that one more time. Researchers have shown that how we think can actually influence our health, which is one of the reasons why every time I have a coaching call, I walk my clients through a powerful guided meditation, because I want them thinking that they're healthy. I want them thinking that they have energy. I want them stepping into the best version of them. And because the more you do that, the more you think about what you want instead of what you don't want, then of course you start actually getting what you want. So the best thing you can do is to be aware of what you're saying to yourself. So many women just aren't aware of the mindless chatter inside your heads. Okay. So if you're trying to figure out how to start shifting the negative, shitty self-talk that has been running the show since you were a child, the very first step is for you to first become aware. You have to become aware of the negative thoughts. So I want to encourage you to grab a pen and paper and or your phone, right? And put a section in your notes that just says negative self-talk. And I want you to start being intentional with catching the negative thought. Okay. Catch it. Hear yourself saying, I'm fat. I'm never going to be able to lose weight. My body is so ugly. I want you to catch yourself thinking the thought. Okay. Step number one. Number two is going to be writing it down. So you want to write down the negative thought. And then step three is you're going to want to replace that thought with a positive one. So instead of saying losing weight is hard, you could say, I love being healthy and I choose to be healthy, right? Something like that. Let me give you an example on money, right? Because a lot of women have problems with money. Maybe they're constantly saying, oh, I can't afford that. I'm too broke. And we say these things to our kids all the time, you guys. You have to be careful. If the kid wants a toy, don't say we don't have the money for that, because now you're putting your belief into their belief system. And then later on, they're going to have fucking money problems. So quit doing that to your kids. All right. So instead of thinking, I can't afford that, you could simply say, I will afford that later, or I will choose to spend money on this instead. Okay. So maybe you want to hire a coach and you're like, I can't afford that coach. You're going to say, oh, I can't wait till I can hire that coach. See what I'm saying? So you're the 3-step process to shifting the negative self-talk. The mindset is 1, become so aware of the shitty thinking. Number 2 is to write it down. Number 3 is to then counter it with a positive thought. So write down a positive thought. And then the 4th and final step is every time you catch yourself saying that negative thought, your job is to stop it and to think about the positive one. Okay, stop it, think about the positive one. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and shift number 3 that I'm going to talk about is all about taking the pressure off yourself. And again, we are talking and having a conversation all about 3 mindset shifts to help you transform your health and your body. So yes, a lot of women, when I say the word health, a lot of women just tend to think body, right? The physical body. They're like, oh, I would love to lose weight. But I, as a mindset coach, love to think about the mental health, the emotional health. And mental and emotional health, I am finding that so many women are in poor mental and emotional health because they put so much pressure on themselves. They set expectations that cannot be met. They set themselves up for failure by taking on too much, right? Too much. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I'll help you do that. No problem. Drop the dogs off and I'll watch them, right? Like we're people pleasers. And you've got to stop putting that kind of pressure on yourself that you need to be everywhere and everything to everyone. Please take the pressure off yourself to be perfect. Perfection is nothing. Like really, I don't ever want to be perfect at something, because it's important to me to be a continuously, like a woman who continuously grows. And if I think that I have mastered one area in my life, then I will think then I don't need to continue to grow it or to learn about it or to focus on it. So if I was striving for perfection 8 years ago, or probably about 6 years ago, I hit 13% body fat. Well, actually it was 11%, right? 13 was the goal. I ended up hitting 11% body fat. Now I'm 5 foot tall, and that was about 122 pounds. And I looked sick, okay? But I thought that 11% would make my body look perfect. Once I got there, I was like, oh my God, I do not look perfect. My ass is like bony. My chest bones are like popping out. My hands just look so sickly, right? And veiny all the time. And I was like, wow, I was chasing this idea of perfection, and I was hoping for happiness at the end, and I wasn't happy. Right. And so then I had to like dive in and be like, okay, well, what would make me happy? And it wasn't to be a smaller number. It wasn't to see the scale, like go smaller. It was, I just need to be happy with where I'm at in my life. Right. I need to be happy with progress, not perfection. So I love that phrase that, I don't know who said it, but focus on progress over perfection. Because if you're striving to be perfect, you may be always setting yourself up to fail mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. If you're waiting for the perfect day to start moving and working out, you're never going to feel that perfect day, right? If you're looking for the perfect day to quit smoking, let me tell you, there's never the perfect day. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and I would always catch myself saying, oh, it's just not perfect right now because I'm like going on a vacation and I'm going to want to drink and I'm going to want to smoke. So like, I was just always striving for that perfect day, that perfect feeling, that perfect day in business. And I'm telling you that there's no happiness in perfection. And I want you to start reframing everything as progress over perfection. I would much rather see you take progress steps every day towards your goals than to be aiming for perfection every day. I'm constantly reminding my clients, that their nutrition, their meditation, their work-life balance, it doesn't need to be perfect every day, right? They're striving for something that may never ever be reachable. So instead, I want them, to remember that progress is better than perfection. Because through the journey, you're going to find out so many cool things. But if you're constantly thinking, oh, this wasn't perfect, you'll always be missing out on all those little golden nuggets. Okay. So your journey is not going to be perfect. Success looks different for everyone. And the way that you get to success is just by taking imperfect actions. That's how you build confidence, right? The very first time I was speaking on stage, I fumbled all over and I was like, blah, 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 right? I probably mentioned the same bullet point twice. Who knows? It's been so long. But over time, I continued to just strive for progress. I was like, how can I get better today? How can I master this today? How can I do this today? And all of a sudden, I was able to let go of perfection. Life doesn't have to be perfect. Your house doesn't always have to be perfectly clean. Your relationship you don't have to feel like the perfect moment to start working on it. So if anything that this takeaway is that I want you to strive for progress. And I want you to notice how that feels in the body when you just strive for progress every day. I'm telling you, it feels a hell of a lot better than chasing perfection every day. Okay, I just kind of want to check in. That's really, those are 3 major mindset shifts that, I've like learn to, I don't want to say master, because I'm still constantly like reminding myself that there's progress over perfection, that I'm always like reframing things into the positive, way of thinking. I'm always changing my self-talk. I'm always striving for like one healthier meal than I had the day previously. I'm a work in progress, and I love it, right? Because I can just be me that way. I don't have to worry about that pressure. So y'all, I am the #1 mindset and health expert for impact-driven lady bosses and coaches. I help these impact-driven leaders build like beautiful habits, routines, and structure for their life that allow them to have the bodies that they want, strong mindsets, and of course, thriving businesses. So if you're tired of playing small and you know you're meant for more, I want to encourage you to book your free 15-minute BossUp Clarity call with me today. And let's just have a conversation. It's a no pressure conversation where I get to learn about your goals and some of the challenges that you're facing. And then if I feel that I can help you, I'll give you a few, ideas, and I'll give you my perspective on the matter. And then if I would like really excited to work with you, then we would talk about the how I would work with you on a whole nother call. So there's really nothing to be worried about on this first call. I do want to encourage you though, you have to boss up, be courageous enough, and book that call in order for you to start getting clarity in your life, in your health, and in your business. So with that, ladies, I love you so much, and join me again next week for another awesome episode of BossUp Babes.
Thank you for listening to BossUp Babes with Karissa Adkins, bringing you tangible tips and expert coaching advice to help you boss up and get healthy. Tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for interviews with industry leaders and powerhouse boss babes that will empower you to take action and live your best life. If you're ready to boss up and work with Karissa in one of her transformative group coaching programs, visit 365dailyhustle.com.